I could sure go for a Big Mac. Maybe some McNuggets. And those succulent fries. Oh, sorry, my mind's been fooled by the power of advergaming. I've been playing MC Kids all day. What? You've never heard of MC Kids? Well, let's go on a little journey. Let's go back all the way to the early 90s. Video games were all the rage. Unlike now, where everyone's too busy Snapchatting their Wikipedia to their grandmother's Netflixtagram, as was eating food. Leave it to the executives of McDonald's to realize the value of putting both of them together to form the ultimate product. Using a team of only 4 people, MC Kids was released on the NES in North America in February 1992 and May 1993 in Europe, and look at all that McDonald's-y stuffs! You star as one of 2 MC Kids, Mick and Mac, whose only real difference is skin color. While camping in the backyard and reading about the life and times of famed Burgermeister Ronald McDonald, you end up getting sucked into the book. Ronald himself gives you a mission to rescue his magic bag after the Hamburglar steals it. Okay. But before he can even lend you a hand and tell you where to go next, you have to find 4 of his puzzle cards hidden within the stages around Ronald's clubhouse. Kind of a jerk move. Despite clearly being an advertisement for McDonald's, it's not a terrible game. It's a standard platformer where you run around picking up blocks and tossing them at goofy-looking enemies. The floating golden arches act like coins. 100 earns you an extra life! The characters are a little floaty, but it's not bad by any means. Finding the cards may drive you a little batty. They're typically in out-of-the-way places. I would never have known to look there! MC Kids also introduced a couple of interesting game mechanics, such as using a gear to flip upside down, and going in zippers? Whose zipper is that? This isn't right at all. Get that out of here. And look, a gopher. The game starts out moderately easy, but works its way into sadistic territory over time, meaning it'll have longevity in your library at least. MC Kids was released in the later stages of the NES's lifespan, at a time when the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis were already actively competing for our love, so it's forgivable that this one was overlooked at the time, let alone for being an advertisement. Oh, but that doesn't mean there weren't other versions out there trying to get at us. There were several ports of MC Kids, usually relegated to being stuck in Europe, and all of them being renamed to McDonald Land. Check out this DOS version. Oofed. Now filmed in glorious Arcovision. What the heck is that? What is that? What? The DOS version doesn't look half bad, although it sounds like someone ran the soundtrack through a garbage disposal. But the big drawback is in the controls. Who in their right mind chose Q and A to jump and crouch, and O and P to move left and right? I can't think of any other game off the top of my head with those weird controls. It certainly makes the game harder, but overall, most elements are more or less the same. Although the gophers now have red noses like they have terrible colds. Or maybe they've been drinking a little too much. The Atari ST version follows the lead of the DOS version rather well. Graphics by John E. Boy. Oh boy. The graphics look great here too, although the boys now look like they're in their 40s. The music's closer to the original too. Frame rate's a bit more iffy, but again, level design is the same. Then we have the Amiga version. The music is far more chipper, but graphics by John LeSlob? Who is this guy? The character designs are just flat out weird. Why is John C. Reilly in a giant backwards cap one of the main characters? It looks and plays just like the Atari ST port, although again, the music is far more impressive. Not impressive? Character design? I was going to show off the Commodore 64 port as well, but wait, what's happening here? I can't get past the map screen for some reason. Guess I can't play this. Good riddance too. It looks like the worst of the bunch. Or at least you think it looks the worst. I've forgotten to mention one other game. McDonald Land for Game Boy. Scraping the bottom of the barrel, you can thank Visual Concepts for this heaping pile of bovine excrement. Yep, that Visual Concepts. The ones behind that abysmal WWE 2K20. This version is a linear side-scroller with much less to do, aside from collect M's and get from one end to the other. There are no cards to collect, and it's basically just a standard dry platformer. Controls feel kinda garbagey here as well, so it's probably best to pass this one up. McDonald Land for Game Boy was a Europe exclusive, until it was brought overseas, and its main characters and icons swapped with 7-Up's Cool Spot. The game is the same, except now the Spot collects little discs. I'd avoid it anyway. The NES original remains the masterpiece of the set and holds a surprising amount of charm. Oh, now I want to go get another Big Mac. Thanks for watching! If you have retro hype of your own, consider dropping a like, subscribing to the channel, and leaving a comment! Yeah!